gotta be kind of hard for you to figure out what you like more right now. We got Ron Jaworski with us. You're about to unveil the name of your Albany Arena League team, and your Eagles are in the Super Bowl.
It's been a very good couple days for me. Thank you very much. I was at the Lincoln Financial Field Sunday night watching the Eagles just demolish the Minnesota Vikings, and made the trip up here to Albany to unveil the name of the Arena Football League here in Albany. So I am very excited about both things that are happening right now.
What's been the closest you've been to slipping and giving up the name?
My lips are sealed.
Good man. Good man.
I'm not going there.
All right, be honest with us. We got the dump button back in the studio.
It's very good. You know what? But I told you, at John Adams and Dave and all the guys, I said, don't tell me. Yep. I don't want to know. Don't tell me, because I got loose lips. You know,
I thought I wanted to know, and I don't want to know.
And last week, John told me, I said, John, I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know. But we'll find out, I guess, in a little over an hour.
Yep. Yes. Even as a former Eagle like yourself, were you surprised about how dominant they were in the victory?
Yeah, I really was. I thought it would be a defensive battle. My prediction on the game was 13-10 Philadelphia. And the way it started out, the Vikings go, 75 yards for a touchdown, their opening drive, and they really took the crowd out of the game. I mean, it was 65,000 people that were all lathered up for the game, and all of a sudden, boom, it's 7-0 Minnesota. But Patrick Robinson made an incredible interception, returned it for the touchdown, and you could almost feel the air go out of the balloon of the Minnesota Vikings. Right. The whole crowd now got back into it. It ignited the sideline of the Philadelphia Eagles, and from there on, it was no contest. The Eagles' defense, the line in particular, dominated, and the Eagles' offensive line dominated. And Nick Foles probably played about as good a championship game at the quarterback position I have ever seen. He was pinpoint accurate. In the second half, 11 for 11, a perfect quarterback rating. He made every proper read. He did everything the right way. It was quite a performance by Nick Foles.
Well, as a high-level quarterback like you were, Ron Jaworski, if you're Nick Foles and then next year Carson Wentz is completely healthy, can you go back to putting on the visor and holding the clipboard? Is there any way you can mentally do that after how well he's been playing?
It's difficult to do that. There's no question. He has now proven over the last couple of weeks. Remember, he played terrific against Atlanta 2 weeks ago. Now he's put on his resume clutch games, playoff games, advancing to the Super Bowl. And everyone knows about the enormous talent of Carson Wentz. And he is the Eagles' quarterback of the future. Now, no one really knows what will happen to Nick Foles, but there are 31 other teams out there that are going to be looking for a quarterback that they know can step in and play. I'm not going to say he's leaving the Eagles. I don't know where that will take his career, but he has shown now the last couple of weeks in high-pressure situations he can deliver. So if there's someone out there looking for a quarterback, Nick Foles obviously would be a very good fit.
We got Ron Jaworski with us right now. We're at the Palace Theater getting ready to find out who his second Arena Football League team is going to be, and I'm dare I say his favorite. I think the Soul's going to have to take a back seat.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. By the way, guys, we're going to unveil the name tonight, and I'm more looking forward to Saturday. Yeah. I really am, because I'm looking around and seeing Rob and the guys and all the coaches that are here. I know how excited they are about Saturday, because now we're getting to what we do. Football.
Right, it's Christmas Eve.
Oh, man.
They get to open the toys.
We got the open tryout camp, open to anyone. Come out and try to make the Albany.
Ride the dump on once.
But to me, that all the stuff we've done kind of the business stuff, and we are so excited to partner with all the wonderful people that are up here in the Albany area, our ownership group. But I get excited when I get around football players.
Right.
I mean, I played the position in the NFL for 17 years, high school for 4 years, college for 4 years. 25 years of my life was playing the game. So we got on that practice field on Saturday. Now we're starting to see the players that are going to form the team for Albany. Now, this is a tryout camp. So you always find a few guys that you bring to training camp. And I know Rob and his coaching staff have their eyes on some guys, but we're finally getting to the point where, hey, throw the football out there and let's go.
Are you going to give Coach Keefe advice during the season? Like, I want 60 passes per game, 70 passes per game. I'm the quarterback, Coach. Come on now.
Wait, it's the Arena Football League. We throw it. We throw it.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't have to say that. This game, but quite honestly, I let the coaches coach. Rob understands the game as well as anyone. He has been so successful wherever he has been. It would be ridiculous for me to come in and say, do this, do that. He's assembled an outstanding coaching staff. These guys know arena football inside and out. So not only is Albany going to get a great coaching staff, we're going to start building the team on Saturday with great players. And by the way, players of character. We're going to bring quality people into this community that love the game of football. That will be an asset to the city of Albany.
Ron Jaworski with us right now as we get ready to find out the name unveiled. Just a little over an hour, like Coach, your coach, because you and Keith have that energy level.
Yeah,
you guys might be the only two who can keep up with each other. I'm pretty sure that you're where caffeine comes from.
Game day, I'm staying away from Rob, man. Well, he played for me in Philadelphia in 2008 when we won the Arena Bowl championship, and I knew he was going to be a great coach because he was a cerebral player. He was always high-strung like I am. I like guys that play the game with emotion, with intensity. And Rob was always that guy that people say, no, you can't. No, you can't. You're too slow. You're not big enough. That's all he did was achieve. And he did the same thing as a coach, and he'll do the same thing here in Albany. He will achieve.
I'm looking at your finger. What is on your right hand right now?
That's Super Bowl 15. The NFC Championship ring. That season we did lose to the Raiders in Super Bowl 15, but that's the NFC Championship ring. If we had beaten the Raiders, it would say World Champions on it. So the Eagles next Sunday will be looking for one of those rings that say World Champions on it.
See, I'm kind of glad you wore that ring instead, because I thought it was going to be a Philadelphia Soul ring, because now you got to be careful when you're showing up here in Albany with the Soul camera, man.
No, I want an Albany ring. I'm not, make no mistake about it, guys. I want an Albany championship ring.
Well, you talk about next week. It's weird to me because he's one of my favorite players to watch, but you don't hear his name a lot. Is Fletcher Cox the most underrated player in this Super Bowl?
It's absolutely remarkable. The lack of credit, he gets around the country. In Philadelphia, people know that he really is the heartbeat of that Eagles defense. And I'll give you a real-life example of what I'm talking about. You watch a game on Sunday, you see all the great things that are happening on the field. You don't watch defensive linemen. You're watching the pretty boy quarterbacks, right? That's how it is. So I get my tape from NFL Films about 7 o'clock on Monday morning. I look at the coaching tape, all 22, so you see everyone's job all the time. Well, I just talked about the biggest play in the game by Patrick Robinson, returns an interception for a touchdown. I could spend an hour talking about that play, but here's one simple factor in the game. The back for the Minnesota Vikings stayed in to block, but he did not block Chris Long, who was the left defensive end for the Eagles on the right tackle Hill. He went inside to double on Fletcher Cox. There aren't too many teams that use their back to go inside to double Fletcher Cox, who's on the nose. So what does that do? It leaves Hill on Long, one-on-one. Chris comes around Hill, hits the elbow and the belly of Case Keenum. The ball flutters short, return for a touchdown. Those are the little nuances of the game that you see the impact of Fletcher Cox. Although he didn't make the play, he caused the play.
I just went to NFL Films. That was awesome. That was great.
Well, now here's the situation. Fletcher Cox and that Eagles defensive line, they got to figure out a way to do that against Tom Brady in Super Bowl 52. Can they do something like that in that matchup?
You never say they can because I'm gonna give the Patriots all the credit in the world. I mean, I love Tom Brady. I love Bill Belichick. When I was the Eagles quarterback for 10 years, twice a year I had to go head-to-head with Bill Belichick as their defense coordinator. So I have incredible respect for Bill Belichick, not only what he's done as a head coach, but when he was a defensive coordinator. And I'm not going to go back and check out how many games I won or he won when we went head-to-head because quite honestly, I really don't want to know. It may not go in my favor. But it's going to be a great football game. They're a terrific football team. Anyone that says anything against the Patriots, you can talk about anything else you want off the field. On the field, they are a phenomenal machine. And it's going to take the defensive pressure of the Eagles. And they've been very good blitzing this year. I think they're probably the best blitzing team in the National Football League. They blitz about 1 out of every 4 snaps, but with Jim Schwartz, they're very good. And this game is going to be about, I'm going to call it the most expensive piece of real estate in Minneapolis next Sunday. It's going to be that little 3-foot square, 5 yards behind Tom Brady. 5 yards, go 15 feet behind Tom Brady and draw a 3-foot square. Who wins that square will win the game. If Tom is very comfortable on that square, he's fine, and they'll win the game. If the Eagles can push the pocket and force him off that square, off that piece of real estate, the Eagles will win the game. That's just my quick analysis of how this game will play out.
God, I love it. Ron Jaworski with us. And Jaws, before we let you go, a lot of Giants fans around here. Pat Shurmur, the new head coach. What are your thoughts on that hire?
A tremendous hire. You know, I was part of the committee that chose Doug Peterson as the Eagles head coach.
Nice.
I was all through that interview process. I've known Pat an awful long time, just like I knew Doug a long time, and then Adam Gase and Ben McAdoo and the guys that went through our interview process in Philadelphia. And as I look back on that, although Doug got the job, and deservedly so, doing a great job, we were all very, very impressed with Pat Shurmur. Very, very impressed. He goes to Minnesota, does a phenomenal job as a coordinator up there. He's got a great history behind him, offensively and defensively. But more importantly than that, there are a lot of guys that design X's and O's, and they're good schematic guys. I think Pat is a great person, and I think the players will relate to him. You know, he's not a dictator. He's not one of those guys. He'll relate to the players. And as I look at the Giants right now, that's what they need. They kind of need a coach that's going to understand the players. And Pat is that kind of guy. He will listen. They'll be a little bit lighter. And he is a good X's and O guy, but I think the locker room mentality will change.
Ron Jaworski, we want to thank you for letting us be here. We're excited to find out officially who this team is going to be, the personality behind it. And, again, thanks for bringing arena football back to the Capital.
It's going to be a blast, and I'll see you opening weekend here as well in a few months.
We got
Get ready.